We have been asked to show that the integral from 0 to 2 of 2x times the square root of x plus 2 with respect to x is 32 over 15 times 2 plus root 2 for 7 marks. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the integral, but I will be changing the square root of x plus 2 to x plus 2 to a half, like that. Okay, and it's just going to make it easier because if we look at our original integral, the square root of x plus 2 is kind of what's causing the big problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to make a u-substitution and let u equal to x plus 2. Okay, we will then say du by dx equals, well, the derivative of x with respect to x is 1, and the derivative of 2 with respect to x is 0, so it's going to be 1 plus 0, which is just 1. This means that du equals dx. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange u equals x plus 2 for x. So we're going to say that x plus 2 equals u, and therefore x equals u minus 2. The final step is I'm going to change both of the limits from the x world to the u world. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say that at x equals 2, u equals, so we have our rule here that u equals x plus 2, so u is going to equal 4, and at x equals 0, u equals 2. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug in all what we've done. Okay, so I'm going to say the integral, so the bottom limit is 2 and the top limit is 4. 2x is 2 times u minus 2, so it's going to be 2u minus 4. Times x plus 2 to the half. Well, x plus 2 is u, so it's going to be u to the half. Okay, and then it's going to be du, like this. Okay, I'm going to expand the brackets out now, so it's going to become the integral from 2 to 4 of, let me just actually rewrite this to make it neater. 2u times u to the half, so that's going to be 2, and then u to the 1 plus half is going to be u to the 3 over 2. Okay, and then minus 4u to the half du. Okay, so all I've done here is I've done 2u times u to the half and minus 4 times u to the half. Evaluating this integral, okay, we will end up with 2u to the 3 over 2. So you add 1 to the power, divide by the new power, so we will get 2u to the 5 over 2 divided by 5 over 2 minus, and then 4u to the 3 over 2 divided by 3 over 2 again, like this, and then from 2 till 4. There we go. Simplifying this and rearranging the fractions, we will end up with, so 2u to the 5 over 2 divided by 5 over 2 is the same as 2u to the 5 over 2 times 2 over 5. So what we will end up with is 2 times 2, so 4u to the 5 over 2 divided by 5 minus, and then the same thing applies here, we're going to end up with 8u to the 3 over 2 divided by 3. Okay, from 2 to 4. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to substitute our limits into our results. So we're going to put 4 for u and 4 for u again, and then we'll come back and we'll do 2. So this equals 4 times 4 to the 5 over 2 over 5 minus 8 times 4 to the 3 over 2 divided by 3. Okay, so that's the first part. Minus, now what we need to do is we need to plug 2 in, okay, for each of our u's, and we will get 4 times 2 to the 5 over 2 over 5 minus 8 times 2 to the 3 over 2 divided by 3. Okay, now if you were to plug these into your calculator, what you would get is this equals 128 over 5, okay, minus 64 over 3 minus, so this minus is applied directly to this term here, minus 16 root 2 over 5, and then minus, and minus is a plus, so it's going to be plus 16 root 2 over 3. Okay? Summing all these together, you will end up with 64 plus 32 root 2 over 15, and what we can do here is we can say this equals 32 2 plus root 2 over 15, and then using the rule that if you have a b over c, this equals a over c times b, we can say this in turn equals 32 over 15 times 2 plus root 2, and we can write as required, like that. So in terms of the marks, this question is worth 7 marks, okay? Your first mark you will get for attempting to use any valid U-substitution and integrating using appropriate limits, okay? So any type of U-substitution you've done and any sign of changing the limits gets you your first mark. Your second mark comes from doing the U-substitution of u equals x plus 2 and getting by extent that dx by du equals 1. So showing that, so doing this line here and this, getting this result here, will be enough to get us both of our first 2 marks, okay? Your third mark comes from correctly substituting all your terms in terms of u into the original integral, okay, to get something of this format. Your fourth mark and fifth mark kind of come together in that you get your fourth mark if you've got anything times u to the 5 over 2 plus anything times u to the 3 over 2. But if you've gotten exactly 4 over 5 times u to the 5 over 2 minus 8 over 3 times u to the 3 over 2, as we have here in our solution on this line, you will get both of your marks. So we get 2 marks for this line. Okay, your sixth mark comes from correctly putting in the limit and solving it, and your seventh mark and final mark comes from getting 32 over 15 times 2 plus root 2 as required.